my cup with some Java love. Sit on down, let's talk it up. I know some laughing lattes, laughing lattes.
Welcome to Life and Lattes with Liv and Cole. I'm Cole.
And I'm Liv.
Man, I don't think Liv was ready for that at all.
Wasn't.
That's okay. I caught her off guard.
I'm sorry. We were just like talking funny things and then just had like 2 seconds of silence and then he started the episode. I wasn't ready. He just got so serious.
Yeah. We have a guest today.
Yeah, buddy.
Tristan Watkins. Welcome to the show, bud.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
That was the crowd.
I like
I've
that.
never done that before.
Me
but
either. That's why I liked it. I was like, I'm in.
I'm the first one to get an ovation.
Yeah, I was field goaling you too. I
I
don't
know.
know why.
I don't know why you were doing that. You don't even watch sports, so I'm confused.
I do. Thank you.
Okay, sure.
When there's a Colts game on, I watch it.
Do you?
Most of it.
Okay.
In between scrolling social media.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
I only watch it to have an excuse to make like pigs in a blanket and meatballs and all that good stuff. Meatballs.
I haven't had meatballs in a while.
Oh, just put them in a crock pot, let them simmer.
Oh.
I don't know why I did that.
What are you doing?
Bam! Emerald. I don't know. Anyways, we're having Tristan on today because we were doing a little podcast flip-flop.
Flippy flop.
I was on
Catch you on the flippity flop.
I was on the Triflix podcast this past week. Pulled a bunch of intimate details of my life out of me. I don't know.
Weird.
Just saying.
You probably haven't seen it yet, have you?
I haven't actually.
It's a good episode. He opened up quite a bit. So with our podcast, we like to bring people on and kind of understand the reason people have like these passions. And given he's kind of like a self-made man, entrepreneur, I thought it would be good to have him on. And he shared where all that passion came from.
Scary.
Yeah, I mean, it was sweet. It was intimate.
Thank you. So check that out.
Of course.
And then of course
We've linked that on our Instagram page.
Instagram.
Instagram.
On the gram.
So big deal for that. And also we got Tristan on here and he's drinking some coffee, which he said he's not a huge coffee drinker.
Oh, I'm generally not.
We're very
but
proud.
This is some nice coffee.
I feel like he's just toying with my emotions. He doesn't
so.
really truly think it.
That's okay.
Just in case, I did bring water.
He went out to his car to go get water after he took one sip of coffee. He's like, I'm going to be right back, you guys. I was like, he's not coming back.
But he has
leaving.
but he has legitimately tried it.
Yeah.
Which we're very, we're happy about
I'm
that.
always down to try something new.
Well, good. We're good.
We got this is the limited edition fall blend from Starbucks. I've been wanting to try it before fall time leaves, and they bring in the whole holiday blend.
Yeah.
I like it.
Starbucks should sponsor you guys by now.
We're trying.
Yeah, they definitely
They
should.
see our stuff.
Thank you. That's
Okay.
true. Didn't we get
add them and tag them.
I know.
Did we get a comment or did we get or they like something? I thought. I did. Sorry, that's forget. Sorry. Liv did.
But I think it was
It's a step in the right direction.
yeah.
It's all good.
Anyway.
So this has the only thing I don't like is it has almost kind of like a harsh aftertaste. Like the ending is a little, I don't know. Kind of tastes like ground up leaves. It's like coffee with a hint of leaves.
It says fall blend, hearty with spice notes.
Well, there you go. That
So
sounds
maybe
about
that's
right.
it.
I'm probably getting
the spicy notes. The spicy afterbirth.
Afterbirth. It's not bad. I
like this.
I don't know if we talked about it in the last episode. We were talking about fall stuff, but it's not. All that sort of stuff is not really my jam.
You're not a spooky boy?
What does that mean?
Yeah.
So like October, you're not like one of those. As soon as like the first leaf falls at the end of the summer, you're just all excited for October and fall season and
He immediately puts his Ugg boots on.
Ugg boots.
I do that. But no, I'm not. It's okay. I don't know. It's just like, for me, it's that stepping stone to winter. So I'm always kind of like,
Upset.
yeah. I'm like, I just like the summer a lot. It's just, it's nice to be able to always roll down the windows, have the sunroof open, be jamming, and just like.
In a nice Audi or something like that.
Oh my gosh. He's not going to let me forget that.
Yeah.
No.
That's okay. Keep me humble.
I like fall when we actually have fall.
We pretty much.
Which I feel like right now we are. But in the past, I feel like it's been like we have a little bit of fall and then it rains and gets really cold and then it snows.
Well, we dropped from 90 degrees and then the following week was like 40 degrees.
Yeah.
I can take 40 though.
I don't know. But then I guess
it's also perfect bonfire weather.
That's true.
True.
Which I love.
I made a fire at the house the other day and just sat by myself. I was like,
fine.
It was nice.
I'd do that.
You're gonna laugh at me. Like, this is one of the least bougie things I do.
Oh.
So
It's a humble brag.
I know.
I'm a little right. I'm a little bit of a stickler. Like, I don't pay for trash service.
Okay.
Because I think it's kind of silly because my office has a dumpster.
So
I take the bags of trash to the office and put them in the dumpster. I only have like 1 to 2 bags a week.
Right.
So I normally have a good amount of cardboard and I just burn it. I start a fire and I just burn all the cardboard. So that was my trash cardboard fire.
Yeah.
And I had some cabinets I had to get rid of, so I like bust them up with a hammer and just like threw them in the fire.
I feel like that's somehow environmentally friendly because you're reusing a substance
See, right?
for a good cause.
I'm not just throwing it in a landfill.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving it back to the earth as
ash.
I feel like I need to leave.
What?
You're too much. Even in your non-bougie times, you're still too much.
Sorry.
Like, why didn't you just leave it at the fact that you just burned the cardboard?
I don't know.
Okay.
Let the man have his moment.
Thank you. I can't leave well enough alone. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Okay. We have some would you rathers.
Oh boy.
We haven't done this in a while, and we love doing this. And I have already got the thumbs up from Liv, so I hope you're ready.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't done would you rathers in a minute,
Yes.
and I'm upset about it.
It's
But I'm
one
going to
of-
bring it back.
It's one of Liv's favorite things that I do, because somehow she's always like, where did you find this?
I know. I feel like I look on so many websites.
Just got to be a good Googler.
Maybe that's it. I've been using Bing.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, I'm kidding, you
Oh,
guys.
I hope so.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
Next thing you
That
tell.
was supposed to be a joke. I thought you guys would laugh at that.
Next thing you say, you're gonna be like, I use Apple Maps.
No, I don't. I
Oh.
use Google Maps.
Oh no.
You should know this.
Somebody out there's
I
offended
know,
right
I'm
now.
kidding.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Like I
sure.
use Bing and Apple Maps,
Yeah.
and I've only
I'm
got lost
unsubscribing.
like twice.
Yeah, right. I've only ran into like
We got
2
lost
ponds.
twice. Okay, Dwight.
Okay. Would you rather experience the beginning of planet Earth or the end of planet Earth?
If I know it's the end, I would much rather experience the end. Cause
Really?
Yeah. I mean, if you were gonna like die, wouldn't you want to know when? And it's like, oh yeah, in like 2 months the world's gonna end, so let's have like a huge party and do something.
Have a big end of the world party.
Yeah.
What if it's like
I don't think the end
fire
of
and
that world
brimstone?
party is going to be a good party. I'm a piece out
you
of
could
that
do
real
whatever
quick.
you wanted, you know?
That's true.
Like the consequences are pretty limited at that point.
Well,
But what if the end of the world is like straight up disgusting chaos,
Yeah.
fire,
I mean,
fire, brimstone, demons crawling out of the cracks of the earth?
boom.
Yeah, there could be. But what if they like beer pong?
I like it. They're like, yo, we're in.
Oh my gosh.
What if you ended the end of the world because you had the greatest party and everybody, all
Yeah.
the demons that were gonna.
Yeah. God's
End
like,
the
all
world.
right, you guys made do, and I'm kind of impressed.
He's like, you're good. You can stay.
So I don't know. Let's go to the other side of it. So if you were at the start of the world, like, is there a lot of people? Is it just you? Like, do you have to find food? Are there grocery stores? Probably not. Like, if it's at the start of the world, there's, I assume.
Well, I mean, don't we know how the world started?
Yeah.
I mean, like it's just gonna be you scavenging. That doesn't sound fun.
True.
You have to, like,
Because it would
But
be.
you also wouldn't know the difference.
oh,
Oh, okay.
so
I
like
guess
I'm
that makes a
not
difference.
aware of like 2019.
No.
You
Oh,
just
okay.
you have to just go back.
I
Oh.
assumed that I was aware
Oh,
of
no.
2019.
Yeah, no, I would definitely want to be in the future.
That
What
would
if-
be
What
weird
if we
too.
have flying cars?
That'd be weird too if you like slip through
Like,
the cracks.
Oh my gosh.
Come on,
For
like-
real?
Like, what if there's just cool stuff in the future? Like, we already know what was in the past.
Okay,
That's
okay,
true.
future.
That's true.
But we're talking about the end of the world.
Yes. But there still could be flying cars.
Dude, there's got to be jet skis.
Wow.
I mean, there's no jet skis at the start of the world. Have you been on a jet ski?
What's happening?
There'd be
this
hover
question
skis.
really
All right, maybe
got
we
away
should
from us.
maybe we should go to the next one.
Oh my god, no. Okay, hold on. Before we move on though, if you were at the beginning, don't you think it would be weird if you were like the one human that slipped through the cracks and you were like the one extra one? You know what I mean? Because technically, if we go along,
He's just
My-
Adam and Eve at the beginning,
And
and,
you're just
you were
like-
just there. You watched the whole thing.
yeah, you're just like on
Oh
the
my
outskirts,
God. I love this idea.
and you're just like in the bushes, like, ooh, like that snake is talking.
So whenever they're asking like
Oh.
when God's asking about all this stuff, like, hey, did you guys eat from the tree? Like, how do you know you're naked? It was because Joe over there snitched on him.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's like,
it was cold.
I saw him. I saw him. I was in the bushes. I saw him eat it. It wasn't my fault.
Oh my gosh.
That dude's still out there, just like.
Oh my gosh. You know what? Speaking of this, I want to read this to you. I sent this to Brad the other day. It was a funny meme that's along the same lines as this. Oh, hold on. I gotta find it really quick.
Do it.
Gotta get past all my mummy makeup.
Huh?
Oh, I may
Is
have
it- is
deleted it.
Why would you delete it?
Dang it.
I want to know about the mummy makeup.
Oh, I'll show you later.
That was creepy.
Darn it, I can't find it. But essentially, it was just like the reason girls don't decide on where to eat is because the last time they did, they doomed all of humanity or something like that.
That's
Aw.
It was like a painting of like
That's
Adam
kinda
and
funny.
Eve. Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. So I just sent that to Brad with like nothing, like no caption.
That's
I was
rich.
like,
I'm sure he got a kick out of that.
yeah.
Okay. Would you rather speak your mind or never speak again?
Speak my mind. Some of most people, I feel like a lot of people do that already.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a no-brainer for me. I think the same for Liv too.
What?
Would you speak your mind or never speak again?
I think quite often I speak my mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah. So
I'm just gonna,
Used to
I'm
it,
gonna keep
right?
doing me.
Yeah.
okay,
I feel like I'd go crazy if you can't speak.
wouldn't that suck?
Oh shoot. I mean, I feel bad. Like there are some people that can't speak.
I get it. That's why
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's rough.
That's what I'm saying. That would suck. Like
Yeah.
it'd be
I'm
really
sorry.
difficult. Like that's the main.
Yeah,
way
but
of
like let's be
communicating.
real. Like you don't say everything that like you're thinking.
No.
I used to, and I got in a lot of trouble for it. I've learned to tame it down a little bit.
Yeah, you have to. You have to if you would like to have friends and family. Okay. Would you rather speak all languages or be able to speak to all animals?
Ooh, Dr. Doolittle kind of moment.
Ooh. I feel like the all languages would be really neat.
That would be cool.
That's my vote.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm talking to animals.
I feel like you first. Are you for real?
What's your reason though? I feel like it really depends on your
I
perspective.
feel like you're just joshing with us.
No,
No.
I think it would be super interesting. Like if it was legit that you could like talk to animals, because you'd be the only person who could. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
except
like,
for everyone just probably thinks you're crazy.
Oh yeah, but I'd have like a monkey, and I'd be like, "Yo, check this out." And he'd
Audrey's
be,
like
a little
walking you
spy
to a
monkey.
mental hospital.
Well,
Right.
The thing,
He says he can talk to animals.
I feel like you assume the animals are gonna be your friends. Like, what if this animal's just like pestering you, like just being a bully?
That's true,
You just got a bird outside your windows just calling you dumb all day.
right? You're dumb. You're dumb.
Yeah, I feel like it would
I
just
guess I didn't
ruin.
think about that if they were mean.
Yeah, I mean, not everybody meet in real life's nice, so I'm gonna assume most of the animals are nice.
That's
there might be a
true.
few bad apples,
Yeah,
except for dogs. All dogs are good.
right. They're like, "Oh." That's how I imagine a dog talks.
Is
Like
that-
Doug.
Like yeah, from Up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how all dogs are.
Yes,
For
that's exactly it.
sure.
Do you think? Okay, so if animals could speak, do you think they'd have accents? Or
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Audrey's
Okay.
back there shaking her head.
Now,
yes.
now I want to know: do all animals would they all speak English, or would you have like Spanish-speaking animals and Russian animals?
Gosh,
Whoa.
right.
'Cause
Then
then
I'd-
you don't know the language.
Then I'd still be screwed, right?
But you can still speak to them. It says speak to all animals, so that would assume in their own language.
Well, I mean, like most police dogs, their commands are in German or Russian. So
That's
I mean,
true.
like
Is that wrong?
you don't know.
I don't know.
These are the thoughts that really matter in life.
Yeah, that's
Wow,
tough.
Wow.
That's tough.
I still think I'm gonna know.
I would still
want
give it
to
a
know
shot.
all
I love
languages.
everything that this podcast is right now.
I'm saying I still think I'd give it a shot because it'd just be interesting. Like maybe it would get annoying, but give it a shot.
Yeah, but like now, every time you hear like dogs barking, they're like yelling things at
Like,
you.
hey, hey, hey! car, person.
Oh man.
Squirrel.
At least I'd know. You know what I mean? At least I wouldn't be like annoyed that they're just barking
Well,
at nothing.
You know, most animals, like in the wild, whenever they're making noise, it's mostly for mating call, especially in the spring. So you just hear a ton of animals yelling like, "Where you at, girl? Where you at, girl?
Where you at, girl?"
Yo, lightning bugs. Every time they're lighting up, you know, like
They're
Oh
like,
my gosh.
hey girl, hey girl.
hey, you. Uh-huh.
I feel like I make so many Office references, but like, you know, the
You do.
episode where, oh my gosh, Daryl is texting and says, BTB, bring that booty.
I just
So I'm
always,
just picturing that of like bears or something.
I've watched a couple episodes of The Office and I couldn't get into it, but so many people make references. I feel like I need to binge it just so
Yeah.
I can get the jokes.
it's so good. Like
it really, like after you get past like the first season,
Uh huh.
you like really get into it.
Okay. Yeah, we were out double date last night, and the couple we were with said that they just watch it in the background, kind of like a podcast or music. They
Yep.
said they've watched it 7 times, every season.
Yeah, I think I'm
It's that
upwards
good.
of that.
it's that good.
Yeah.
And I do like it's like a fall asleep show or like a play while you're like cleaning the house. I
And
mean,
it's never like not funny.
oh, it's funny every time.
Yeah.
And you'll catch things too, you know. I mean, as
Yeah, that
you
you
continue
didn't
to
see
watch
like
it.
the first time. You're like, oh my god, I didn't see that.
There's although there are some episodes like I skip because it's just like they're so cringeworthy.
So cringy.
Like,
yeah.
Oof. Yeah.
Like, nope.
But cringy because of Michael.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's usually Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should watch it.
Okay.
You should. It's worth it.
I'll like the coffee.
Some people don't really like that kind of humor though.
Yes. I forget. There was somebody I was just talking to about it not too long ago. Said they
It's
didn't like
dry and uncomfortable and awkward.
I don't. It's like I don't want to be here right now.
Yeah, but it's also so funny. Yeah,
it. It's worth at least getting through once.
Okay.
I like.
it's true.
Do you like it more than Parks and Rec? Like which one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Me too.
Ooh. So did you like the first season of Parks and Rec better than the
No.
later ones? Oh, okay.
I like the later ones from Parks and Rec. I was bored the first few episodes of the first season of Parks and Rec.
Yeah, she was too similar to Michael Scott at the
Yeah.
first like 4 episodes.
Yes.
But that's we're going through that episode. Or me and my fiance are going through Parks and Rec right now.
Yeah, it's funny. I do love Parks and Rec.
I haven't found a bad episode.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so good.
Yeah.
It's good.
I'm not a big fan of the way it ends, but
Thanks. I haven't got that far.
I know, I'm just letting you know. We'll see
You're
how you feel
not?
about it. It's okay. I just didn't like it, but let's not spoil it. Okay.
Everyone dies.
This is yeah. Everyone's dead.
I was like, oh, I'm just not a big fan of that. Wish everyone would have lived.
Yeah,
Happier
right.
ending.
Would have been much better.
Ugh. All
This-
right.
this is a
Wow,
tough
we're
one.
spending so
All right.
much time on these questions.
Would you rather give up your love life or your work life?
Ooh.
I just mentioned my fiance now.
Yikes.
I know.
I would much rather give up my work life.
Yep.
Okay. Wow.
That's
you
exactly what I would
guys.
do.
Yeah, that's a good answer. We passed.
I don't know. I'm
Not
getting a
sleeping
look.
on the couch. Yay.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like there is like that male female difference though, because most guys I know just love work. Like if they're single, they're putting in like 80-hour weeks because
Listen,
like what else are you gonna do?
I can't even really give you guys crap because Brad would so say the same.
Like,
He'd be like, yeah,
it's
I
satisfying.
think I'd rather work.
Yeah.
He would just come out and say it.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of fulfillment whenever you like go in, do a good day's work, and then go home and.
To no one.
Wow.
She's got a
No.
point. That wasn't either or.
Yes, and it's a bonus. Okay. Yes, to come home to someone.
But I don't
but
know
you
if I
but you have
could
to
really
think you
give
start
one.
there.
Yeah,
You know, you don't start in a relationship. You start
that's a good question.
your working relationship first. And I don't know. There's something about it's oddly satisfying.
Yeah, it's a good question. It's something to think about. But I think love's important.
Yes,
yeah,
very much
important.
so. Yes. She's like buried in her phone now. She's like, I'm not even going to look at you. Okay, last one. This one's kind of silly. Would you rather would you rather be without elbows or without knees?
Oh
You gotta
man,
you got to give one up.
Oh, I love this.
I feel like the type of work I do is mostly digital and camera oriented. So I would, I guess, give up legs because
Give up
I
your
really
knees.
need my arms.
But see, you'd still have your legs, but I think they would just be straight, right? Like you would
Yeah,
have no
yeah,
bendable-
you would be like peg
bendability.
legs.
Just But it would be if
You
you
just be like waddling.
but if you missed your elbows and you're just always like
Yeah.
like a
arms
Barbie.
out. Yeah, like a Barbie.
Yeah, but like, so like using a computer, try doing that. Like you'd have to be fully extended all the time.
I'm with you.
I feel like for what I do, I would have to give up the legs, especially because if I got in a wheelchair.
Think about the smooth shots you
Yeah,
would get.
those would be really smooth shots.
Yeah,
Oh
I knew exactly where he was going with that.
Yeah.
Everything's a dolly shot.
Yep, always. Your whole life is a dolly shot.
Oh no. Oh,
Anyways.
no.
Sorry.
Oh, my heart.
Hey, smoother the better. I'm just saying. Anyways,
Next question or something.
yeah, that was all the would you rather.
That was the end. That's how we ended
Literally
that.
anything else.
Oh, don't make a big deal.
Ooh, elbows or knees.
Okay, what would you pick?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, come on. Okay, I'm putting a gun to your head. Now, what do you pick?
Wait, what if
The
we?
gun.
The gun.
What if the option was like to get rid of the joints and the fingers, so it was just like straight fingers?
That'd be really creepy.
But you got to keep the knees and the elbows. Does that third option help you to make a decision?
Wow.
Maybe you're just always just got done with your nails. You're just like,
I don't.
why are you always drying your nails? No, I actually have no joints in my fingers.
Yeah, so I can't.
You're like using your
move.
phone, like you'd always have to straight point.
Be like,
Yeah.
You'd have to like get something to like stick to your
yes.
phone.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, you couldn't even hold it.
I know.
You have to
Driving.
have one of those.
Driving without being able to curl your hands.
Just always like.
You're always doing the car wash.
Mr. Miyagi everywhere.
Everywhere you go.
I suppose I would take the using your elbows.
It'd be so
Yeah.
hard
I would
to
hate
dance.
to not walk, but
How would you dance? You can't dance.
that's upsetting.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's the biggest loss.
Well, you
Eating
could-
food. No, that's the biggest.
yeah, right. Always like.
Everything's spaghetti now.
You just it looks like every time you eat, you're like a baby. You're like.
Wow.
Okay.
Super
See,
derailed.
we wouldn't have had this conversation if we would have asked
Yeah,
questions.
I
That's
feel.
true.
I feel like my life's somehow better because of this
Yeah.
conversation.
I feel like we
Good.
just really get to know people when we
Yeah.
do the would you rathers.
We're breaking down barriers. We are. Okay.
We're gonna whisper the rest of the episode.
The whole thing.
ASMR at all.
Yes.
Just.
Oh.
And I'm done. And I'm done. And I was gonna say that's the reason why I couldn't, because every once in a while you'd be like,
You know what?
well,
Stop. I actually just watched one of those the other day because it came up on Facebook, but it was, oh my gosh,
People eating.
I loved it. No,
you loved it?
Yes,
Oh.
but hold on, listen. Have you seen like that? I don't, like this like magic sand. I forget what it's. I don't remember the.
It's like the magnetic sand.
Yes.
Yes.
And somebody was cutting it with a knife,
Oh yeah.
but had the microphone connected to the knife, and so the sound of it going through the sand, it literally sent chills down my spine.
gosh.
And but like the repetitive like motion of like doing the
Oh,
knife
yeah.
was very relaxing. I was like, this is super weird.
So you have a magnetic sand fetish.
No, it's just the sound of it.
That's what I'm saying. Now you're just gonna be like, you walk in and she's just going,
Like rubbing the sand by my ear. Yeah, super weird.
That's oddly satisfying.
It is though,
Yeah.
which
I
makes
think
me
there's-
feel weird about
I'm
it.
curious
I
now.
think there's a Reddit, subreddit for it. So you should check out Oddly Satisfying. They have like a ton of just weird stuff like that people somehow enjoy.
I do
but-
like some of that stuff
Yeah.
because there's some of those videos are interesting.
Well, that's where I saw the sand one. But I didn't know that
Okay.
was like an ASMR thing too. I
Yes.
didn't know it had audio.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
yeah,
The
really
stuff
weird.
people, and I'm sure it had like
Look-
8 million views.
Probably
I'm sure.
I'm in the wrong business,
Yeah, for sure.
meaningful conversations. Psh,
right?
sand.
Sand.
Sand. That's what I'm talking about.
gosh.
Sand sounds.
I hate it. Sand. It gets everywhere.
I was like, what do you
It's
hate?
true. I know.
It was just boom. I hate it. Man. Okay. Anyways, let's talk about you.
Okay.
I would like to start with maybe your background. I don't know the story
Wait,
in between. Go
Hold
ahead.
on.
We just jumping into it.
I don't think. Did we talk about how you guys met?
Probably
Did
not.
I fall asleep there? How did that happen?
Okay, that's fine. We can start there.
Donnie boy.
Yeah.
Good old Dane Causey.
He seems to like he has a lot of awesome qualities. This man, Dane,
Yes.
which is my cousin.
And my best friend.
Yes. We actually talked about that we need to have him on the podcast. We talked about that beforehand, so we're going to work on that. But anyways, he seems to be a person that just brings people together.
It's true.
Which is super cool because I would not know you if it weren't for him. And I know that that's for a lot of relationships in your life as well, which is, it's super cool. I'm trying to think about the first time I would have met you. I think it was probably, weren't you guys living together during college?
No, I was just over
You're
there.
just there a lot?
A lot.
Okay.
Yeah, it was either you visiting Dane's place or we came up to your house at one point in time for like some party.
I could see that too. That's probably why I don't remember.
No, it was actually like a super small, the party at your place was really small. It was like just 6 or 7 guys hanging out.
Small intimate party.
I'm trying to think. Were you there the night of the I'm trying to think about how to put this.
A sentence.
The bow?
The bow? No.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
but can we talk about that?
No.
Okay.
Can we talk about it though?
Okay. So it's been a little bit. So
Yeah,
I've probably run into you probably between then and now it's probably been like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, very limited.
Yeah. But we got to talking. Dane just got married.
Yep.
We were both at the wedding. You were best man, right?
Darn right.
Yeah. And so you approached me after the wedding and we were talking about podcast.
Yeah,
and
because I was just starting mine and I knew
Yeah.
you had, this thing going for a while and seemed to be going pretty well. And
so I was like, dude, I want to come on. You should come on ours. Let's do the whole thing.
yeah. So we've known each other for a long time, but I guess like maybe 4 years now.
Yeah. But in passing,
Yeah.
just over time.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
And if I was ever in Columbus, and like hanging out with Dane or whatever, like you would show up and we'd all hang out. Like
yeah,
that's what
I
guys
just appear.
That's what guys do. Just like, hey, yeah, we're close. Oh, great. Okay, I'm just gonna show up.
Yeah. It's just you just use the Snapchat whenever you see people's location. You're like, hey, I'm like
Oh, yeah,
2 minutes
he's
away.
there.
All right,
Okay.
they're heading over.
What's up?
Yep. I get
Does
it.
that help?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's great.
Sorry, I forgot about that part. Thank you.
It's all right.
But back to where I was going with that.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I don't know your backstory, so
Okay.
maybe just give a brief kind of
Spark notes.
give like a brief intro to get us to today.
Okay. Let's see. I graduated from Purdue, and the reason I went to school for engineering was I grew up in like Jenks County area, moved to Columbus for middle school. They had a lot of engineering programs. I realized I liked it. It was something I was interested in. High school, took a lot of engineering courses, went to Purdue. It seemed like the right thing. All throughout that period of time, I was making videos just because I really didn't like to read. And if you made a video, you didn't have to write a report. So I was making like video essays and stuff like that for class, and I really enjoyed it. People seemed to like it. And I started making like music, lyric videos and stuff like that, short films. And throughout that period of time, I was at college taking some internships we did Cummins, Ison, ThinkPath, and then for SIA. And all throughout that time, and then I also had like some summer internship where I did like social media engineering, social media management. So I started going back and forth between engineering and video, and I always knew that engineering was kind of like a backup plan. Like if video doesn't work out, if I can't find a way to do marketing and branding and photo work, then I know I could be happy doing engineering. Mm-hmm. And what that allowed me to do was go into Furcia as an engineering intern, but make some media content for them. They really liked it, and after a year and a half, they asked me to start a company. And over the course of college, I had already had a company. I was a sole proprietor, but they said, if you start an LLC, we'll hire your company. And with that, it started my LLC, which started, I guess, about early this year. So early 2019, I started the company. They brought me in, and I've been working with them since, doing some like marketing pieces, video, photo, and all that. And then I also have my company. Since we're contracted in, I've been starting to pick up extra clients and do additional media. And we're like, wow, we like meeting creative people, and we've met a lot just making projects. So that allowed us to start the podcast and start interviewing creative and innovative people that I would consider interesting.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I really love the relationships you get to build. And like, for people that don't know, if you come on like a podcast, it's kind of like therapy, just listening to people talk about their lives.
Yeah.
You learn so much.
Yeah, it's stuff that you wouldn't just have a normal conversation about.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely wouldn't have some of those things in passing.
You definitely wouldn't talk about having no elbows or knees in passing.
That's true.
It's definitely true.
Hey man, think you can make it without?
Just wondering.
So yeah, it was started out like I really liked engineering. I thought it could be a big part of my life, and I kind of used it as a backup plan while I pursued media marketing and stuff like that. And they allow, like we're talking about with your background, you had a lot of the similar characteristics where you were doing marketing and video, and then the job you're doing now has allowed you to like have that past skill and apply it to it so that you can be accelerated in what you're currently doing. In the same way, the engineering background's allowed me to become more technical, so I can communicate like what the engineering people are trying to say with, you know, people in finance that have no idea how engineering works, right?
Yeah. Because engineering is a totally other language.
Yeah, it really is. And the people are a little different too. Like the way an engineer thinks is, it's very unique. And trying to explain that thought process to someone else, it can be challenging, but I do enjoy it because I get to use videos.
No, that's super cool. So like, what's some of the content that you because you are contracted with for SIA right now, correct?
Yeah.
So like the content that you're making for them, is it just like training videos or?
It was initially supposed to be, but again, coming in with that marketing background, it's like, hey, I think we're limiting our scope here, just making training content. Like,
right.
Like we do so many public events, like for SIA, like this is gonna sound like I'm promoting them a lot, but it is a great company. Don't get me wrong, and they do a lot of events for the community of Columbus and the communities they're located. And it's like we're doing all these events, nobody knows it. They think Columbus is ran by Cummins, and Cummins is a great company, supports it, but for SIA does a lot too. So I'm like, let's start doing branding, let's start capturing these events and all these charities that we're doing. Anytime we had like not Greg Pence. Yeah, Greg Pence. So Mike Pence's brother came in, and it's like nobody even knew that in Columbus that he was even in town, but he stopped at our facility. So what we're trying to do is build up a marketing brand structure that shows like Forcia is a large part of the community. And on top of that, you know, doing training videos and things like that.
Right. Okay. Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So with you've formally went to school for engineering. Yep. Is your media and marketing, all that stuff, just experience driven type of?
So for people that are interested in literally anything, just use the internet.
Yeah.
Like it's so ridiculous to think that having a degree makes you somehow better in it than somebody that's worked really hard. There's a example, like there was a gentleman that ran like the 4-minute mile, which at the time was like groundbreaking, and I was spaced on his name, but he was training just like an hour a day, and the other people were like spending their whole lives training for these races. And whenever he ran it and won, whatever the race was, they asked him like, how are you able to do this like without training? He said, it's not about the amount of time you put into your work, it's about the amount of work you put in your time. So if you're like going to college and you're just checking in and you're showing up to class and just trying to get by, versus if you're like working an 8-hour, 10-hour job, going home at night and studying on YouTube and looking up resources, you can still do almost anything that someone with a degree did.
Right. Well, so you've kind of dipped your toes into both camps though.
Yeah.
So like you do find value in your degree, correct?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But you don't think, I mean, it's not like, oh, if you don't do that, you can't make it.
Yeah. I actually have a full-time employee now and a part-time employee that I've contracted in. And one is technical and one is creative, but neither of them are really using their degree. And as like an employer, I'm not too worried about it because at the end of the day, can they do the job that I ask of them well? And like, if I'm not there, are they still doing their job? Like good work ethic, showing up on time, being punctual is far more important to most employers, I would say.
Oh yeah.
Than what does a piece of paper say about you? However, the paper is nice because it shows at least they're somewhat competent and responsible enough to show up for 4 years.
Yeah, right. 4 years in a row.
Yeah, that's a big commitment for people that do get the degree.
That's true. Yeah, I was just curious. We've talked a lot kind of back and forth on that. So it's interesting to hear from somebody who went and got the degree and then is now not using it essentially. But you know,
it's more of a passive use. So it's not like I'm doing engineering work on a daily basis. However, it does allow me to understand a lot of the topics that I create content about.
Right. Mm. Yep. Man, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of a dream job in a way. It really
sounds like it. And do you get to because you're contracted, which is awesome, because then you don't have that tie down, like you said. Now you're able to pull another other clients and go, well, not only are we already contracted with Versia, that just helps you have whatever you want to call it, street cred.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. My original goal was actually with engineering was kind of like a fallback where I was planning on going to college. And this was my plan back in like freshman year of high school. I was going to go to school for engineering and save up for 2 years afterwards of like getting a good job, make that bread, and then
make that bread.
And then after that, take a year off and start a company and do media. And if it took off, then great. And if not, I would go back to engineering and say I tried.
Yep.
And luckily, I was very blessed with the opportunity of working with Versia, and because of headcount freezes, like the automotive industry is kind of at a standstill right now.
Okay.
They basically gave me money. They paid me to take a risk that I've been wanting to take for a long time. So, God's plan's better than my plan. Just kind of worked out a little bit better that way.
Mm-hmm. Tends to.
I'm so grateful.
Well, one of the other things I wanted to ask you was I was kind of like looking through your social media and everything, and I saw that you had listed VFX artist.
Yes.
So do you work with any of that?
Okay.
I'm gonna put you on the
that
spot
is
here.
my like affinity, I guess. That's like what my real passion is. Like I love making videos, but most of the people that I've interviewed, whenever I ask them why they're so passionate about something, it usually revolves around when I was at an earlier point in my life, usually when they're younger and more impressionable. They saw something that inspired them, and most of the time it made them really happy. It made them feel good. And because of that, they want to give that to other people. Mm-hmm. Well, when I was growing up, YouTube was a big deal. And I never really wanted to be like a Hollywood, director or anything like that. But YouTube was a really big part of it because I saw all these, like 16 to 22-year-olds at the time, back in like 2010, making VFX videos. I was like, this is so cool. Like they don't have to have a permit. Like they don't have to have a budget. They just go out and make content. And it was so impressive. And one of the like founding companies, in my opinion, were like Freddie W., who made a lot of VFX artist videos, and Corridor Digital. And those are the companies that I've kind of tried to replicate my company around and find a way to do that VFX work and these explosions and these gun effects. And it's like, you don't have to have a big team, a big budget. Like anybody can make content now. And it made me feel good. And I hope at some point in time, I can focus more on that and make that content for other people, and maybe they'll get inspired by it.
Yeah. I watch a lot of Corridor videos.
I love them, man. They're so good.
It's just a bunch of dudes just making videos, and their videos are fantastic.
Their
content's amazing.
Yeah, that's like, we have like the main channel with our short films. We have a secondary channel, which is we've been trying to get BTS, like behind the scenes content, going for a while, to show like what it's like to work in a studio in a smaller town. And then we also have the podcast, which these are all things that I've wanted to do, but it's also like we found a model that worked, and that was the Corridor Digital model. So we're trying to not really like steal from them, but like it's something we enjoy. We want to be able to give that value as well.
Yeah. So Corridor is like, my Ryan Serhant. Like
okay, yeah,
about.
Yep. The real estate guru.
Yep. We know who you steal from now.
I'm open about it because the thing is, like, I know a lot of people that become very successful, and I've seen their models. I've seen where they come from. There's a guy in Columbus that's starting to go into politics a little bit. His entire initial branding was based off of Gary Vee's model, and he's very open about it. Mm-hmm. And I think we talked a little bit on our podcast, or maybe it was before or after it, but how to steal like an artist. It's not taking something at face value and just ripping it off, because, in the world of artistry, that's a big no-no.
Yes.
It's like taking it, making it your own, and giving homage, like paying homage to the person that originated it from. Because whenever you learn something from somebody and you're not stealing it, usually there's some gratitude with it, and you're like, you want people to know where it came from, like who inspired you.
Yep. Yeah, it means something.
Yeah, it came from somewhere.
Exactly.
That's cool. Mm-hmm. What inspires you, Liv?
I was just getting ready.
Oh my gosh.
I know we talked about this last time, but like,
Oh my gosh.
Who's your role model?
I feel like we need to have a whole separate.
Do you have like a role model, like an influencer or something that like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Something that drives you, that you see like, oh man, like their content's so good, or like, I love the way that.
Or just something that like it was impressionable for you as a child, like something like really stuck out and you're like, whoa, I want to do that as growing up.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I need to think more on this, because we're wanting to have a whole separate episode to talk about this. But
Okay.
there is this one girl I've been following for the last, I don't know, maybe year or two on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And her page is like just an explosion of color, but like so much color, it's ridiculous. And every time I see it, I'm like, oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love it so much. And this is what she does full time, all the time. Influencer, all of the brands like Disney also sponsors her or whatever,
Oh, wow.
all of her stuff, which I'm like, love.
She's doing it big.
Yeah. But every time I see it, I'm like, ugh, I love it.
So does she like make art, or like what do you mean by colorful? Like what type of work does she post?
Mostly like fashion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And like all of the walls that she finds, I think she lives in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of her backdrops are so just like vibrant, and all of her outfits are just on point and colorful. Like the whole thing. I'll have to show you guys later.
It's kind of a breath of fresh air.
Liv and I have talked a lot about like social, like she helps me with my stuff and we always go back and forth because I'm working on being more upfront because I'm used to just being in the back, you know, like either manning a camera or, you know, doing editing and things like that. And that's usually my place. And so she's been helping me step in front of it, which is great. But she's all about like you got to have like a theme on your Instagram, and like it's got to be specific, and you have to treat it almost as a web page. I mean,
It's like a personal
It
branding.
has to be like, yes, and like
So, like,
cohesive. And
I went through and made, you know, the story highlights, like made icons for all of them, and they're all specific colors, and she's helped me a lot.
The irony of trying to run a social media company and not liking social media.
Yeah.
Most of the people I know that do this type of work dislike social media as just like a whole. Meaningful personal relationships are kind of what I think drive a lot of the more personal relationship.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it more than that, but
I get what you mean. There's been some people we've sat down with that are, you know, pretty deep in, I don't know, the entrepreneurial world and indie. And it's a lot of FaceTime.
it is.
You know, it's a lot of networking and going to events and seeing people. It's not just sitting on the couch or I shouldn't say couch, but, you know, sitting in your office and scrolling through Instagram and you know, talking back and forth. There's a lot of that, but it's not the main driving force.
Yeah.
Because again, too, I mean, it's just a personal branding, marketing piece that helps you get found, really.
Yeah. It definitely it does have a lot of value. That's for sure.
Yeah, but I get it. It can suck you in and spit you out.
Yeah.
And
I love the personable interactions, like you said, like going to events and meeting people. I love that stuff.
Networking is awesome.
It is.
We've had a lot of opportunities lately. It's been fun. I like that.
yeah.
Hopefully you can break us into that Columbus.
Of
scene.
course. I love Columbus is such a great city.
My boots just got locked together. And so I was sitting here struggling for like 2 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. This video, you can see the struggle in my eyes.
She's trying to.
Oh my gosh,
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
So off the topic of your work,
Okay.
going back to what we were talking about earlier. So you're engaged.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Totally. Romance
Love
over work.
Do you guys have a date?
Yes.
Maybe.
April 25th. So we got the venue booked, and she's picking up her dress today.
Oh, okay. Wow. Liv is like wedding central.
Wedding
Really?
queen.
She used to work at a wedding studio. Like
Really?
I know
she's
all
gotten me
things
in.
wedding.
We've shot weddings together because she knows a lot of people. Like and
So
she
do you know
coordinated 100% of it.
Do you know how to save money? They're so expensive.
Yes.
He's like, "Can you save me money?"
I can.
Please, you should just have a whole podcast episode about like weddings and the do's and don'ts.
That's a great idea. Although if
Oh my gosh, we should.
you're gonna be like, you tell me. Liv.
I'll just sit on the couch over here
Yeah.
behind. I just want to take notes.
Oh yay! I would love that.
Yeah, there's just so many things that people don't realize
Yes.
whenever you're planning them.
Are you doing something larger?
It was originally supposed to be small, like maybe like 20 to 30 people, like close family. But if you're gonna do that, a lot of times, you want the reception close by.
Yep.
And the reception halls we were getting, like, it just made more sense to have the wedding and the reception in the same place. And at that point, if the reception could seat 200, it's like, why don't? Yeah, why not? Like, it's not like it's going to add too much extra cost other than, you know, food.
Right.
Because most of the places have seating and tables and tablecloths included. So it's just like, pay an extra $1,000, we'll cover the food costs and have another 50, 60 people there. So I think right now we're aiming for 130-ish. Yeah, I would love to hear like all of your input though.
Yeah.
Probably talk more after.
I was gonna say, yeah. He's like, yeah. You need to
help me,
please.
Neither of you have probably seen this movie, Miss Congeniality.
Of course.
You have?
Yes. Who has
Yay!
not?
Okay, so you know when they ask her what her idea of a perfect date is, and she says April 25th because it's not too cold and it's not too hot. All you need is a light jacket.
That is awesome. Did she actually say April 25th?
She says April 25th.
I feel special.
Yeah.
We picked the best date.
Yep.
Yeah. How do you know your fiance didn't do that on purpose?
Actually, I don't know because we were originally going to do May 25th or whatever the weekend is around that date because that was my birthday and it was just easier for me to remember.
April 25th. Boom.
Man, that's so cool. We should have like
So
we should put
great.
that like on the cards when we send out the invites.
Right? Should be like a
Should.
screenshot from the movie.
Yeah.
You really should though. That would be
The
so
perfect
good.
date, April
Yeah.
25th. That's so. I'm really glad.
Tell
you shared
people all
that.
they need to bring is a light jacket. That's great. I love that for you.
This look like I'm really excited now. This is awesome.
Oh,
Well, so how long did you guys know each other?
Okay, yeah.
Give us the lowdown.
One more. We'll throw this out here. You were talking about how Dane introduces everybody.
Oh my gosh.
Mr. Causey. We met through mutual friend Dane. He, long story short, like she was friends with Dane's current, Dane's wife.
His current wife.
Right, she was friends with Dane's wife, and at the time, we were all just friends. Nobody was dating at that point, and we went rock climbing. I'm gonna botch this because I think that was the first time we met was rock climbing. And if it's not, I'm going to hear about it later.
I was like, she will fact check you.
Yeah. So we met, and that was 2 years before dating. And we got really close because mutual friends, we always hung out together. And she had like a crush on me, but she was like in high school when we first met. And I was like young in college being stupid. And I didn't really appreciate her for, you know, who she was. Like we were just friends and like I couldn't see us more than that at the time. But as we spent more time together, I started realizing like she's actually like everything. Like, you know, Proverbs 31 is often referred to as like, this is like the dream wife. This is everything the wife could be and should be. And she just held up so many of those attributes. I was like, man, I'm kind of an idiot for not, you know, taking more value in these things. Mm-hmm. And after 2 years of being friends, we went out for dinner one night and I asked her, you know, would you like be more friends when you want to start dating? She said yes, of course. And then about a year and 3/4 later, I proposed to her in a gondola downtown Indy on the canal.
nice.
And it was really nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's our story.
I like it.
Yeah,
Are you excited?
I'm pretty excited. I'm one to overthink a lot of things, and I think that's most of my friends know that. So I'll have like moments where I'm just like not sure about just life in general.
Yeah.
And she's the one that grounds me. And it's like, hey, you're super high up in the clouds. Like, come back down to reality. And so I'm excited, but I have like days where I'm just kind of like, I overthink things. And then she reminds me like, hey, it's one day at a time.
Yep.
And with that, like, I am really excited. And I do look forward to it.
That's awesome.
Yay.
It's a cool thing. So that's good.
Yeah.
Glad you found your person.
Yeah. She's absolutely
You gotta
amazing.
find somebody that can pull you back down for sure.
And I'm a lot too, is the thing. So like to find her, I feel so blessed.
Right.
That she
She
can
put
put
up
up.
with you.
Yeah. But the thing is, the really cool thing about it is when you find somebody that puts up with you, and you're like, "Thank you for putting up with me." They're like, "What do you mean?" Like they just kind of appreciate you for who you are. And she says the same thing. I'm like, I think you're great. I don't understand.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
You're like, yes, thank you.
Yeah. So no, we're both excited and looking forward to it. And
Well, honeymoon plans. Where are you guys going?
help me. Help me live.
I can also help you with that.
I'm gonna botch the pronunciation because it's foreign to me, but it's like curacao. And if you ever buy alcohol, it is like if you ever see, it's like an additive that you add to make it more flavorful and more tasteful, whatever. It's the same spelling, and I don't know the relation, but there's a country called Curacao as well. And right off the coast of Venezuela, right next to Aruba, gorgeous city, or like the whole island is drivable, like 1 hour coast to coast. And that's where I'd really like it to be. She's never been outside the country, so I thought it would be a good tropical. She hates the cold, like just ideal, especially for April time. But with trying to figure out like planning and budgeting and timing, it might be more reasonable to do something a little bit closer. But ideally, that's where we would love to go.
Yeah.
Or Santorini, but
Yes.
that's way more expensive.
That's what I said too. And then we were like, let's dial it back a little bit because that's a little.
Plus, a lot of my friends that have recently got married, I think we're going to be the last one out of the group, like that are getting hitched, right? And a lot of the friends say that do something closer. Like one of our friends, Dana and Michaela went out to Montana. Another friend went out to Virginia. Another one stayed local and went to a cabin. They all recommended doing something smaller because when you're first married, you don't really know what a good vacation's like. So you don't want to spend a ton of money, go to a place, and then the whole time you guys are in like a hotel or Airbnb, and you don't really know where you want to go out, and you don't know what you would enjoy. So I think I'll ask a couple more questions to people that we're close with and get some more feedback. But overall, I think we'll be able to find something tropical and warm, and that's what really matters.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't blame you there.
Yeah,
Just watch the sand, right?
Yeah.
I will say this: what day are you guys getting married? Obviously, I know the date, but is it a Saturday?
Oh, okay. Yes, it would be a Saturday. And I think we have it the venue Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so we could flex it if we needed to. But right now we're planning on a Saturday.
Okay. Pro tip.
Look at her. She's like, the wheels are turning.
Let me just say this. This is what my husband and I did, and we loved it. We got married on a Friday, and then Saturday we hung out with family that came into town for our wedding, relaxed, chilled, packed for a honeymoon, and left the next day.
Okay.
I'd recommend that over being up late on your wedding day, bunch of crazy, and then you leave early the next morning. You have time to like.
So did you do the wedding rehearsal Thursday?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if we could do that.
Well, I mean, you could still leave Monday. If you do the wedding
okay.
Saturday.
I see what you mean.
So like having a day in between.
Okay. That
Just
actually
food for thought.
That's not a bad idea. We both love our families. And our families, actually, the first time my family met her family was the day I proposed. They had never met in person. And because it wasn't planned. It wasn't like we didn't think they would work out, like wouldn't be friends. And they actually kicked it off really well. It was just, everyone has such busy lives now.
Yes.
And it's so hard to plan stuff.
Yeah. Some of like my family and his family met rehearsal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess maybe it is more common.
But we also just have both really big families, and coordinating schedules is a nightmare.
Yeah.
That was insane. But I'll tell you what, though, they pulled it off. It was so organized. Made it easy. Yeah, she knew what she was doing. I could tell. I was like, made it easy for Brad, too. I
wasn't Bridezilla.
I didn't say that you were. I just said you had it together. Yeah, but like the way that
you just had, like, you're backing up.
I mean, like, get out of her way. She knew what was going on. You know what I mean? Like, she had it planned out to a T. It was done, and we were just like.
But no Bridezilla, right?
No.
I
really wasn't.
She was just so planned, organized.
She was just planned and organized.
I feel like you're being sarcastic.
No.
But, like, for real.
I'm not.
No,
like that was probably the calmest I've ever seen her was on the wedding day.
Yeah, I was so like, chill.
It's like out of
I mean,
all
I was
days?
like excited and like, you know,
yeah,
whatever. But I mean, like my sister-in-law's dress, the zipper broke as we're getting ready. We're also like out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She was freaking out,
nightmare.
And I was sitting there like, it's gonna be fine. We're gonna figure this out. You know, it's fine. My mom had to sew her into the dress.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's great.
I just remember that was the first time I had ever driven a minivan.
Sounds like a nightmare, but
remember I had to drive the minivan to the to the venue, and I was like, man, I feel like a dad right now.
Aww. That's a good thing.
Aw, such a good day.
I know. It was fun. Okay, we're getting pretty close on time here.
How long do your podcasts usually last?
We usually go about an hour.
Okay, cool.
I want to say the longest we've ever gone is like an hour and 15.
Probs.
Yeah. Are you ready for the game?
No.
TLG.
All right, let's see if I can do it. See if I can do it on the spot.
Okay. All you have to do is give us just 2 stories, or they could be facts about you. I'm trying to think, just like facts, stories, or whatever. Doesn't have to be some long, drawn out, crazy thing. You could be like, I have 6 toes on 1 foot.
Stop it.
I have
right back to the toes and knees and elbows.
I've
Right.
never wrecked a car, and I waited till 21 to drink.
Okay, those are good ones. I'm thinking it's the car.
I feel like it's the drinking,
Oh man, we're split.
but we'll go with the car.
Sure.
Yes, mostly because this is on record that I said the other.
Oh wow. Okay.
Do you want to drum roll it? You're right.
Me?
I did wreck a car on permit. I didn't even have a license yet.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a really bad day.
That sucks.
Yep.
That
Okay,
sucks.
you
I
win.
didn't
You win
quite.
this one.
I called my mom right after and I was like, "Hey, I kind of got in a little fender bender," and she's like, "Oh, okay." And then nothing happened. She's like, "All right, let me know if you need anything." She called me back like 5 minutes later. She's like, "Do you want me to come down there?" It's like, "Yeah, that would be great."
Right. Kind of
She-
need you.
Yeah, so she comes down and the little fender bender that I told her, she comes down and my bumper's like in the middle of the intersection and there's parts everywhere and my car's like off in a turn lane.
Right on.
And I was like, I've never been in a wreck. I didn't think it was that bad. She's like, you were like $20 away from totaling the car out.
No. Yikes.
Yeah, so it's
I understand that feeling.
I haven't had like a wreck since, so it was
Better
like,
knock on
maybe
wood,
like
man.
maybe like a little bump here and there, but no wreck.
That happens,
Yeah.
right?
Oof.
And I totaled my first car when I was 16. So
Yes, as much as
We're
I hated
shocked.
paying more insurance, I think the statistics are right. Guys just suck at driving the first like 4 years.
well, yeah, we're just like,
We're dumb.
like, hey, I'm gonna just try to drive as fast as I can through this corner. We'll see what
I
happens.
paid for the whole speedometer. I'm going to use it.
Yes, I like that. I've never heard that. I like that.
I don't live by that, but I do enjoy the phrase.
Liv, do you know what launch control is?
Nope.
Do you?
I'm going to go with it and just say, no, I don't.
Okay. So in newer cars, certain ones, not all. So don't try
His
this.
Audi.
Don't try this in your Fiesta or your Focus. You can set everything up. There's usually a series of like turning things off, and then it gets you into this mode where you can mash the brake with your left foot, mash the gas with your right foot, and it revs to a certain RPM, and then you just let off the brake, and it just launches the car. So
My Focus would explode.
I found out that I can do that in mine by accident.
Yeah?
And usually it's, I was blown away. This is, it's a 4-cylinder turbo, right?
Uh-huh.
So it's normally this is reserved for like cars with 400, 500, 600 horsepower, right?
Right.
So I was like, okay. So I did it. Audrey was interested. So we did it this morning for the first time. She was like, I want to know what it feels like. I was like, okay. So it's so crazy because it's got all-wheel drive and it just like, it hooks up and just goes, bah, just like shoots
Roller
off the
coaster
line.
launch.
Yeah, it'll put you back in your seat.
I want to try it now.
Yeah. So when you said something about the speedometer, it made me think about that because it's like you can't stay out of it when you have little things like that. But you have to like turn traction control off and put it in sport mode and then do the, you have to do this whole thing. And
Yeah.
it makes you feel cool
Yeah.
because you're like, look at me. I hit all these buttons and I turn on launch
You
control.
feel like you're in the Fast and Furious movies?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Now, if only I had like 12 gears, I'd be good. Just always.
God. What was that?
Dude, you might need to take this to a mechanic.
Yeah.
Right.
That doesn't sound right.
Car sounds horrible.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm glad I won. Glad you're okay.
Yeah.
Didn't have any issues in the wreck.
No,
And,
I drive a lot more carefully since then.
yeah.
Smart
and-
move.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, I know I'm sitting here talking about launch control and stuff, but like the wheel has to be straight. You have to be on, you know, I mean, I try to make sure I'm on a road that you can, you know, there's no one going to come up behind me going, there's plenty of country roads. But it's like, I haven't hit 3 digits on the Speedo. Like you just feel differently about it now. I mean, the first thing I think about is I'm like, if I get a ticket, my insurance is going to go up and I'm going to have to pay more money.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, I'm still waiting on tickets to fall off my record so my insurance goes down.
Is that a brag?
I had a ticket every year.
Humble brag.
Yeah. I had a ticket every year from 16 on until like 24.
For speeding?
Yeah. Usually 15 to 20 over.
The nice thing about Indiana, out of all the states I've been through, is they're pretty lax on most of their speeding. I think I've been pulled over once and it was a warning and I was kind of dazed out. I wasn't intentionally speeding, but
yeah,
most of the time the state's like, if you do 5 up to 10 over, most cops like don't care. Like driving through the city, cops will be doing 50 and a 35 and I'll just get behind them and, you know, follow them like, hey, where are we heading?
Yeah. No, and that's the truth. I think it is definitely lax. Like I said, normally if I'm over, I'm over.
Yeah.
And there's no question. I normally am like, yep, just go ahead and print it out. Just give it to me here.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing about it is like, if you're going to speed, you know you're speeding. If you get a ticket, like you're aware that if you get pulled over, you have to be accept the fact that you could get a ticket.
Yes.
And as long as you do that and then you speed, like, I just hope you have $200 in your wallet.
Yeah. There was one ticket I got, and I don't know why it was so much. I spent it was like $320.
What?
I don't know why it was so much money.
Was it like a construction zone or something?
I was on 65. I was in Greenwood. It was the first and only one I've ever had in Greenwood, and I don't know. It was just super expensive. And I usually pay the referral, you know, or deferral. Yeah, the deferral fee.
Referral. Hey, that guy was speeding too.
Right. So maybe it was because of that. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But they were like, I was like, oh man, that one hurt.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna give you a sec to kind of plug some of your goodies.
Okay.
That sounded weird. Sorry.
I'm gonna plug them goodies. So we were talking about social media earlier and running those accounts, and you don't normally run the main account, do you? Like, no, it's mostly you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that'd be Liv.
I don't really run our Instagram. I'll be honest. I'm usually in front of the camera or working, and with that, I don't really know all of our social media links. I think they're either at Triflix or at Triflix LLC.
That's it.
Facebook, Instagram, but we also have YouTube. If you're interested in learning how videos are made, we're starting our BTS series. We have our podcast, that's Triflix Cast, and then we also have like a short film show. Overall, everything's on triflix.com, triflix.com. Yeah.
Sweet.
Bingo.
Well, Tristan, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, appreciate it.
It's been good to get to know you, and appreciate you having me on and then coming over here and coming on with us. We had fun. Hope you enjoyed the Would You Rathers and the craziness that happens at Life and Lattes.
Yeah, this is a very different take on podcast than mine is. I like this a lot.
We try to make it fun. We wanted to enjoy, you know, coming in and just try to do some different stuff and just try to like have fun with the guest and make you uncomfortable and try some different things and push people out.
You have to try a little more for the uncomfortable. I feel pretty good this whole time. You guys are good hosts.
Good.
He just
and you
high-fived.
tried coffee.
This is weird.
We're high-fiving everybody.
All right, y'all.
Okay, that's it. Thanks for listening. I know you extended the giveaway, but I don't remember what day.
Winner will be chosen Monday.
Okay, so as you're listening to this is the day that, if it's on Monday when it releases, this is the last day to enter, correct? Or are we announcing?
We are announcing on Monday.
Okay, great. So get in there as soon as possible. Hope that you got in there as soon as possible.
If not, watch out for the next one.
Yes, there's a bunch of goodies in there that Liv picked out. She handpicked everything, and it's amazing.
Handpicked.
You did.
I know. It just sounds. It's funny.
It's just a bougier way of saying it. Okay. That's it. Thanks for listening.
We're out. Cheers.
Cheersies.